All right, that was a little low. We'll pick it up in a little bit. So welcome to the 2024 Academic Affairs Student Awards Ceremony. Please be seated. So my name is Patricia Corbett. I'm the Vice President of Academic Affairs. We have a great night where we're celebrating our student achievement. We have some wonderful faculty, staff, and of course, our students here to celebrate tonight. All you've done. I can't believe we're ending another academic year. We're coming up to commencement, which is always a great time. Do we have any seniors in the house tonight? Where's our seniors? Woo! I think is it 9 days away? Is it 9? Is anyone counting? 11? I was going to give you 9, right? Have it a little early. So I'd like to welcome our president, Dr. Lesperance. And we'll save some other applause for some other people for the end. So here we go. I'd like to first congratulate our fall 2023 Dean's List. So students who achieved a fall 2023 semester grade point average of at least 3.5 have been placed on the Dean's List and are recognized for their accomplishments. Their names are listed in the back of the program. Please rise and be recognized. Anybody? I gotta wait 4 seconds for each slide. So hold your breath, see if you can do it. Okay, now we're going to recognize our Honor Society inductees. Let's see if I can say these Greek names correctly. I'm sure you'll chuckle a little if I say any wrong, so we'll know how I do. Okay, first one. If I say the Honor Society that you're in, please rise. So we have Alpha Chi inductees. Any Alpha Chi? Woo! Okay. Omicron Delta Kappa. Did I do that one all right? Did I mess it up? I don't know. Matt's looking at me a little funny. Did I mess it up, Matt? A little. I was close. All right. All right. All right. Oh, Chi Alpha Sigma. Okay, now let's try this one again. Omicron Delta Kappa. Okay, how about Kappa Delta Pi? Okay. Psi Chi. Alpha Phi Sigma. How about Pi Sigma Alpha? Nobody? Okay, this one I practice. Lambda Pi Eta. I got it. Glad I practiced that one. Delta Mu Delta. Woo! Okay, Tri Beta. Well, there's a lot there. Woo! In the back. And thank goodness I asked about this when they told me I didn't have to salute. Okay, salute. Anyone? Woo! Okay, now I'm going to call up the first faculty member. Nate Schrader is on deck. So here we go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nate Schrader, and on behalf of my Center for Civic Engagement colleague, Professor Colleen McKelvin, I'm here to recognize all of the students and thank the faculty and staff who participated in this year's college convention. College convention is perhaps the most recognizable New England college event in America. This quadrennial convention brings together college and some high school students from campuses all over the country. And this year we had some students from other parts of the world come together with us to immerse themselves in the excitement of New Hampshire's first in the nation presidential primary election, but from an insider's perspective. Participating students are able to meet and hear from presidential candidates, leading political journalists, policymakers, and election experts about topics such as political strategy, policy issues, campaign messaging, and everything under the sun related to presidential politics. This past January, NEC students, along with the support of numerous faculty and staff, helped to organize and execute the operations of this 3-day-long convention. Without their time, energy, and dedication, college convention would not be possible. Ever since college convention's founding by President Lesperance in 2000, New England College has had the privilege of hosting this event, and we look forward to continuing the tradition of the first in the nation presidential primary and college convention in 2028 and beyond. Thank you all.
Good evening. My name is Daryl Furtkamp. I'm the Dean for the Division of Art and Design, and I would like to introduce the faculty presenters for the Art and Design Academic Awards. I'd like to invite Devin Mazdiers to the stage, please.
Hello, everyone. So this year, the Art and Design Award is going to a student who sort of took us by surprise because she doesn't seek the spotlight. She doesn't really ask for anything. And with that, she could almost fly under the radar if it were not for her talent and her work ethic and her willingness to help us as a division and as a community. Initially, she wasn't an art major, but after taking her LAS 3, she decided that she wanted to add art as a major. And so we went through the process, she added it as a major, but I didn't have class with her immediately. But I kept hearing the student's name. So first I kept hearing Patrick McKay talk about this exceptional student that he had in his drawing class. He was like, you need to see the work, it's wonderful. And if you saw the work on the wall, you would agree. Her understanding of value, line, mark, and just her discipline and dedication to the process made her work just leap out off of the walls. At the same time that I was hearing her name in this drawing class, I kept hearing her name pop up in the theater. So Ian kept repeating this student's name and talking about how she'd been a huge help designing sets. I think one of the quotes that I'd heard on more than one occasion was, she's a rock star. Now this term, I've had the pleasure of having her in a painting class, and her skills as a painter have developed immensely. And when people walk into the studio, they often ask, whose painting is that? In addition to that, she's also been a huge help the past few weeks as we work to set up studio spaces for our senior exhibition. She spent hours and hours helping us build walls, which is no easy task. And so I don't want to play favorites. However, I think you might be living up to your name. Emma Favorite, congratulations on winning the Art and Design Award.
And now I'd like to invite Professor Yoav Horish to the stage to give the BFA in Art and Design Award. Yoav?
Good evening, New England College community. My name is Yoav Horish. I'm an associate professor of photography, and it is my honor to present this year's Award of Fine Arts on behalf of the Division of Art and Design. This annual award recognizes the person in our community whose work ethics, mannerism, academic, and artistic accomplishments has encouraged, contributed, and influenced our students and faculty. This year's award winner is not only an excellent student, but also an extremely kind, helpful, and punctual human being. From the very first class I taught her, from the very first few roles she photographed, it was clear that we are dealing with an empathic, patient, and a quiet individual. Her work has always done on time and exactly, or better, than the requirements. I saw her systematically collecting information during and outside of class. She will ask relevant questions quietly and write them down in her notebook. She was always respectful and very kind in her ways and approaches to everyone, almost like, you know, a secret agent. Not like the James Bond type, but more like those who work behind the scenes. Is she a secret agent? In every class I have taught her, I knew I must stay on top of my Blackboard posts, my course schedule, and my lectures, in fear that twice during the past 2 years, she quietly reminded me to publish an assignment we discussed in class, or a PDF I promised to send. Both times I was very self-conscious and a bit embarrassed. Her continuous academic and artistic success reflects the countless hours of hard work, the sacrifices made, and the unwavering belief in the ability of photography and art to transform lives. Her dedication to her academic and artistic progress was also met with her commitment to the department and the entire college, from being a founding member of the Photo Club to be part of the creative and production group who resurrected the Haneker Review magazine this semester. I've had the absolute honor of working closely with the students throughout their academic career, and I cannot be happier to see them honored here tonight. Your achievements serve as a shining example of what can be accomplished with dedication, commitment, and vision. Congratulations on your outstanding success, and may this be just the beginning of a journey filled with more awards and accomplishments. Without further ado, the Fine Arts Award goes to Eva Mansberger.
Quiet in the back. Before we start, I'd like to point out some people who deserve special thanks for tonight. I'd like to thank Megan and all the other admins who helped this event happen. So a round of applause for them, please. I'd also like to thank one of my seniors, John Bonica, for his lighting design for this event. We all look wonderful, and that's because of you. So a round of applause for John. In addition, I like to publicly express my appreciation to all my theater students. Without their endless laughter, dedication, and hard work, this department and this building would not run as smoothly as it does, and I am forever grateful that you guys keep me excited to come to work every day. But tonight, I am here to celebrate one student in particular. Starting off as a transfer, this shy, quiet student had to endure storm after storm. COVID caused online acting classes, shows were canceled, shows were adapted to allow social distancing, but this student refused to be defeated. She grew more and more every year before our eyes, She has done it all. She was a stone, a bartender, an assistant stage manager, an ice fisherman's daughter, a director, a grieving mother, and now for commencement, a student marshal. Now that's range, baby. Now after 3 years, I don't really find her as shy and quiet as she used to be, especially after seeing all the memes that she posts on Instagram. I see someone who stays within to learn, to grow, and to take every roadblock with full force in order to leap forward. Now, I need a little help from my students to hoot and holler and really embarrass the girl who hates standing up in front of people. We call her Chuck, but let's give it up for this year's theater award, Charlie Metcalf.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew Morgan, the Dean for Humanities and Education. And I would like to introduce the first presenter for the Creative Writing Award, Andrew Morgan. Quinn Mansberger. You can come stand here while I talk at you. I'll make you stand right here, and then everyone can watch you. I think left, then I can elbow. Quinn Mansberger's prose whistles like a pirate pressed drying the peg-legged leg of his pantaloons. Only it's the kindest of pirates, more a masseuse than a marauder, his eye patch greased with glow-in-the-dark paint and his pantaloons dull and worn, but tended, free from any tears or slits to cheat their whistling of its essence. And the whistle is more like a siren, more ordered and manicured with its repetition, its fulcrum, not its funnel. And in that whistling is a constant fraying, nearly silent, if not fully inaudible, but definitively there, like that extra zipper on the suitcase that doesn't close or open, but instead expands and contracts the space within. So yes, what I'm saying is that Quinn's prose is exactly like the quantum zipper that is both there and not there at the same time, invisibly binding everything to itself, but making the room within for everything unsaid to gently bleed through the unseen. And the poetry? Well, the poetry makes people cry. And there's not more one can ask of an artist than that. And that's the heart of it right there. There's nothing you can ask of Quinn that he will not without hesitation take on, explore, implement, fail, remount, retry, and retry again and again until it's mastered. Then return, present, listen, respond, adapt, and ask, what's next? In so many ways, proof of the axiom that only through absolute focus on the means can the means sublimate the end. It has been an unbridled pleasure watching Quinn's sublimation, his unwavering dedication to finding and refining his voice. And it has been an inspiration witnessing his willingness to lose himself to the page, only to reemerge, reborn, refocused, and just that much more sure of who he is and what he's doing. Speaking of that, what's next, Quinn? I, for one, can't wait to see. Now I'd like to invite up here Timothy Jones to present the Criminal Justice Award.
Figures that I would get chosen to follow Andrew with his poetic writings there. I don't even know what sublimation means. So, all right. So I was a cop for 20 years. So I'm going to give you the cop version of addressing an award here. Thank you all for being here tonight. I want to start by saying that I am honored to present the 2024 Criminal Justice Student of the Year Award. I'm sure I'm not alone in knowing the difficulty it is to try to pick one person out of the many extraordinary students that we have. As difficult as it was, we were able to form a consensus and narrow it down to one student. And this student has done some extraordinary things here while being a criminal justice student. So our criteria this year for choosing the award person would be their GPA, their grade point average, their dedication, and their level of their academics. In other words, not just their GPA, but how well they interacted and mentored other students, their level of civic engagement, and also their values. We want to make sure that these are people who are going to go out into the criminal justice field and they carry these same values that we have taught them. Our chosen student not only fantastically represented the criteria that I just mentioned, but actually did so with a lot of poise and humility. This student will graduate with majors in criminal justice and psychology, earning very high GPAs in each, 3.77 and 3.83 respectively. I'd like to name just a few of this student's accomplishments. Research assistant in 22 and 23, Dean's List from 2020 until now, the NECC Del Malloy recipient, NEC's Athlete of the Month, November of 2022, Student Athlete Advisory Committee representative, cross-country captain, member, secretary, and ultimately president of Psi Chi, member of the Chi Alpha Sigma, member and vice president of the Criminal Justice Club. However, there is one significant accomplishment that we are extremely proud of. This student has gained full-time employment with the Hillsborough Police Department starting in just a couple of weeks. This student will be going to the Police Academy this summer, and we are so, so proud of this student. So without further ado, I present the 2024 Criminal Justice Student of the Year Award to Keegan Finley. Proud of you.
Professor.
Okay. So as the end of the year approaches, we're tasked with giving an award to just one student in our major. Let me tell you that choosing between 7 communication majors this semester who have a wide variety of skills, talents, and interests is just about impossible. This group consists of future broadcasters, social media professionals, and an aspiring entrepreneur. All of them will leave NEC and without a doubt will follow their own path of success. But tonight's award recognizes a student who's made an impact on the Communication Studies program and plans to work in the field. To give you some background, with most students, I work to develop their confidence in communicating information. Some are shy, even fearful of public speaking. This student was not. His presence is always known in the classroom. And that's not just because he can talk a lot. As a student, he's eager to ask questions and make connections between the lessons. I've watched him hone his listening skills and steadily grow his GPA. His writing has grown leaps and bounds, and recently he became one of the latest inductees into Lambda Pi Eta, the National Communication Honor Society. That's not bad for a student who started at NEC and questioned whether college was right for him. This student has served for several semesters as the assistant editor for the New Englander, and was chosen for this role because of his willingness to jump in and help his classmates by contributing to a story, even when his name didn't always end up on the byline. This student is, well, one of his professors said, quote, "He's a hard worker and always giving his best effort. He's a good listener and takes input very well."
One of the greatest treasures in education is watching a student identify their interests and then take on challenges to pursue their dreams. This student discovered a love for sports broadcasting, and on his own, he found a way to announcing games on air for the athletics department. It's that kind of determination that I know will serve him well. Congratulations to Tommy Doe.
Professors Jessica Morris and Christine Tebow will now present the award for education.
This is my emotional support teacher. So perseverance, it's a buzzword. We love those in education. And this one seems to kind of go around a lot when we're talking about someone who's overcoming obstacles. So I think this word falls a little short for this student. And I like to play the synonym game. So I went through and I thought of all the words that I could use to describe this student: tenacious, determined, patient. But the fact that she just endures and she overcomes is pretty incredible, because had you asked me, would this student do this as a freshman? I would have said, maybe not. But this student has grown to become such an incredible young person. She is a rock star athlete, test taker extraordinaire, never gives up. During her methods placement, the cooperating teacher and principal called and said, "Is it possible for your students to just bypass student teaching? We have a spot for her." I said, "Well, no, call the DOE." She traversed muddy back roads, potholes, ruts to get to a really far away school. She saved children by chasing a moose off the playground. And she has already secured a job.
And as some of you may know, education majors have added tasks of meeting the department education elements in addition to the 120 credits. This includes practicum, methods, culminating fieldwork hours, and in addition to this, students need to pass with qualifying scores on 9 separate standardized tests across 5 core subjects and developmentally appropriate pedagogies and methodologies for each. Children. Congratulations, Julie, Illinois.
We have to go over there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Professor Craig Gallagher to present the award in history.
Good evening. In my 3rd year presenting the award for academic excellence in the history program, I'm proud to say that the decision is harder than ever. Our graduating seniors are of an exceptional quality year on year, and the conversation that my colleague Jim Walsh and I have about our seniors every year just gets more and more challenging. This year was no exception. Our decision this year was decided by a couple of factors. I ended up writing them down as a list of P's, that is words that begin with P. I'm going to run through a couple of them here to explain the student that I'm talking about today. The first P is for perseverance. This student that I've been working with now for a couple of years is someone who, at every opportunity to push through a challenge facing them, has persevered, has proven to be someone who can weather difficult situations, including, of course, the pandemic we all went through, but also situations involving changing majors, changing concentrations, changing courses on the fly, in one case withdrawing from a course, something they really struggled with, but ultimately decided to do for the best goal of sort of reaching their degree. The student also has purpose. Perseverance is also informed by purpose. Since I met this student, they've known what they wanted to do. They've known who they wanted to be, to a degree that I actually find mildly intimidating. Thinking back to myself at their age, I'm not sure I even came close to the sense of purpose the student has, and it continues to impress me even now as we work together. The student has always been polite in a way that is truly indicative of their age and maturity. So much so that we've now graduated to a point where that politeness has become a kind of game between us, where we have a little bit of a running joke about being meaner to each other in person than I think actually is the case. And it's sort of a riff on the fact that the student has been nothing but respectful since I've gotten to know them. They're personable, someone who's collaborative, someone who works with others. They demonstrated this in particular through their work as a resident assistant at the college, a service they've performed for several years, helping not only freshman students, but students in their year and others, as someone who can be relied on in a crisis, but also for mundane things like I can't get my door to lock properly. I want to mention in particular their perceptiveness. It comes across especially in their written work. This is a student who has never failed to see the bigger picture in their work. They're always able to engage with difficult topics and to see clearly and quickly the bigger picture that I'm trying to get the students to get to. Sometimes to the point where I've had to ask the student to, hang on a second, let me try and get the rest of the class involved because you got it so quickly, which is always a good thing to have and engage with. But the perceptiveness of the student impressed me right from the first moment I worked with them. My last P is that they have a particular sense of style. If you know the student, you're familiar with their particular look. And I say that with affectionate attention to the way that they come across the campus. There's about 1 million more words that I can think of that I could use to describe the student, but none of them begin with P. So I won't continue down that line of thinking. Without further ado, I'd like to award the certificate in history to Chase Champagne. Congratulations.
Raylan Vitti to present the Outdoor Education Award.
All right. I first met this student when she contacted me with her disappointment in her path of trying to immerse herself in Mandarin for her lifelong goals. And I read the email and I was like, well, that's interesting. And she said, I think I want to do outdoor ed. Will you be willing to meet with me? And I said, sure. So we set up a time, and it was during COVID, and it was January, and it was freezing. And we walked around campus, and I think it was like a really cold, rainy day. But it was great because this very quiet but solid person came to campus. And I mean solid in that confidence just kind of bubbled up through the surface. And you just kind of felt a calm whenever you were around this person. And as we kind of went through the courses, she was really keen at taking the theory and bringing it into practice, using her experiences. She's also her experiences are as a canoe guide. she does a lot of whitewater canoeing. She does a lot of expedition canoeing. She's led lots of trips. When she came to us, she was already a wilderness EMT, which was awesome to have that in your skill set already. And so it was very quick that she became a solid member in the community of outdoor education, especially a leader in our program. Within her second semester, maybe third semester, she organized a group of students to go to the Wilderness Risk Management Conference. And it was great to just have students have this motivation. There's nothing like having a class and have a person really use their experience and be able to label the theories that go with that. And that's what the student does. She's also just really caring and sweet and very sensitive to her peers. I'm not going to keep going, but I just love the student. She's going to go to Costa Rica for the summer to be a guide for Pure Life Adventures, and then she's going to study abroad for the fall. She has a 3.98 GPA, and she is a double major in outdoor education and in art. So without further ado, Emerson Zealous.
Nate Schrader for politics.
Good evening once again, fellow pilgrims. Congratulations to all those who've been honored so far here this evening for your outstanding academic achievements. And may I wish a premature congratulations to all of you who will be honored throughout the course of the program. I'm here to present the award for academic excellence in the field of politics or political science. Politics is inevitably a field which studies, examines, discusses, and revolves around people and their interactions, individuals, citizens, groups of people working in concert to achieve a certain end, and all too often, groups of people clashing over their preferred worldviews in various ways. Given that ours is a study of people and their interactions and behavior with one another in differing capacities, I'm proud to present this award to Olivia Brimmer, a student who's demonstrated that they understand these interactions better than most any undergraduate I've ever encountered, and who has spent their 4 years at NEC doing this on behalf of people like all of you in this room. When NEC students needed an advocate for improving the quality of life on campus, Olivia Brimmer has been that advocate. When students needed a voice in the SGA as their senator at large, Olivia Brimmer became that voice. When faculty and staff, and I speak personally as working with Olivia as my teaching assistant, have needed a reliable student leader to take on critical roles, Olivia has been that student leader. You all may not have realized it, but for the past 4 years, Olivia has been your advocate and your voice on this campus in a lot of different ways. But the amazing thing is that unlike what we see often in the field of politics, they've never at any point sought credit for it. And I think that's something worth acknowledging here tonight. Tonight, I'm pleased to be able to give Olivia the credit they deserve for this advocacy inside of the classroom, outside of the classroom, whether it's on campus with in class, in student organizations, in the leadership of a state political party organization, or in the Vermont legislature where they intern. You deserve this. And in the final analysis, Olivia has put into action the true purpose of politics: to strive to leave behind a better place than the one they found. And I say to that, mission accomplished. Lincoln said, "I will study and prepare myself, and someday my chance will come." Well, you've proven that here, and with your chance coming, with grad school coming up, that's very successful thesis defense yesterday. I think your time and your chance have come. Please join me in congratulating Olivia Brimmer on being the 2023-2024 Political Science Award recipient.
To present the award for Integrated Studies in Philosophy and Literature, Frenchland.
Okay, so you knew this is the one he was going to mess up, right? It's always a little bittersweet when I have to present an award to a student whom I really didn't get to know until their last year here. And this student was entered one of my seminars, and I was immediately impressed with their dedication to not only the material in terms of the conversations we were having, but the fact that they wanted to do the reading, they completed the readings, all of them, and actually were interested in expanding on the conversation, not just passively taking in the material and the thoughts of others. But I am so grateful that I had that opportunity. To be nominated for the award in Integrated Studies in Philosophy and Literature, a student must demonstrate an openness to critical and ethical reflection on humanity's ongoing quest for knowledge and self-understanding. They must show a willingness to question not only the assumptions of culture and society, but their own personal assumptions, their personal opinions on what is true, what is good, how ought we to live. This student was more than willing to take on those questions. Pursuing studies in both humanities and the social sciences, tonight's recipient is an example of the kind of cross-disciplinary learning that is central to a liberal arts education. They have been described as curious, creative, and tenacious in their studies and in their pursuit and their love of learning. It is clear that this love of learning will be the foundation of their success as they venture into the next chapter of their life. I will also add, it was also clear when in their final paper, when asked to identify their favorite reading, it turned out to be Plato's Apology of the Cave. So for those of you who have read that, I think you know what that meant. Congratulations to Avery Letourneau.
He's a senior transfer student, joining us all the way from South Australia. His faculty, coaches, and the management division congratulate Lockie Reese on winning the accounting award. I would like to now invite Dr. Carrie Colbert to the stage to present the Business Administration Award.
Okay. So this is going to sound a little crazy, but I actually thought this student was either a spy, like she was coming into my class and going to report back to the dean or something, or a stalker, either or. So this quiet person sits in my class in the back, first class. I have 3 classes. Didn't really say anything except for here when I called her name for attendance. All right, so finish the class. I walked to my other class. By the way, it's in the science building. I really never leave my bubble, which is Lions. Walk into science. Get there. Guess who walks in? Same person. Okay. Sits in the back of the class. Doesn't say anything except for here when I call her name. So I have class in the exact same classroom, my 3rd one. She doesn't get up. Okay. We stare at each other for a minute. Looks at me, I look at her. Finally, I said, you can go now. She said, no, I have another class with you. Great. So I was like, are you kidding me? No problem. So I better be on my best behavior now. Well, then I found out I'm her advisor. So she's not going anywhere. Got her for a minute. Okay. So as you probably figured out, she's taken all of my classes. She's actually in one now, her very last class. I honestly don't know what she's going to do without me. So through their time here, I've actually really gotten to know her, which is great. And when the dean asked me who I would like to represent, business administration at a breakfast, she was the first one I thought of. And I knew if you said my name, she would actually get up and go. But I also knew that she would probably find me and be really upset that I recommended her for something very early in the morning, because I do know she doesn't like to get up early. So the student is a member of the business club, senior class council, and has not come off the dean's list. Was inducted into Delta Mu Delta last month, but most people know her as the person behind the camera at sporting events. This student is the best advisee because they do exactly what I tell them to do. Hey, it's worked because she is graduating on time with a near perfect GPA. I'm so proud of her and I will miss her dearly. This year's Business Administration Award goes to one of my favorites, Alexis Call.
Computer information systems. This student will be receiving the top GPA award for computer information systems. Faculty share she is energetic, dependable, friendly, and able to balance her workload while playing basketball. Top performing varsity athletes have to be excellent time managers. This speaks volume to her ability to balance life, sports, coursework, and all things CIS. Her faculty, coaches, and the management division congratulate Taylor Roddy on winning the CIS award. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Matt Ruckman to the stage to present the Sport and Recreation Management Award.
Thank you very much. To our recipient, I want to share a poem that Sally wrote for you. And for the rest of you, I encourage you to ponder the question, who the hell is Sally? Scholarship, leadership, dedication, true. These virtues in Kate Wheeler we view. Honors, recognition, scholarship came from her academic pursuits, not just in name. To Scotland she ventured junior year, a study abroad experience held dear. Beyond the classroom, her impact grew. At New England College, her influence flew. On the soccer field, a leader so keen, women's teams guiding queen. I might have messed that up. Mentoring students fresh and transfers too. In life, in soccer, her guidance so true. Her coach speaks of a steady hand, a team-first spirit that she does command. Her play, her presence will surely be missed. Her leadership on and off the pitch has kissed Sally. As officer, then president so grand of the Sport and Rec Management Band, she revitalized the club with her own special zest, winning awards, standing out from the rest. The first to get club shirts on time. This may seem a small feat, but they fit so sublime. She makes things happen. This is known. Her leadership is consistently shown. Now off to Stirling, a university in Scotland, to further her scope in sport management. She's armed with hope at New England College, her role so vital. Kate Wheeler, a leader, undeniably her title. Outstanding student in SRM, Kate's journey continues, a guiding gem. A role model, a leader, her story we cheer. Scholarship, leadership, dedication here.
Hello, my name is Angie Smith. I'm the Dean of Nursing and Health Professions. This is our first year here. Yay! And because of that, all three of our faculty wanted to present the award. So I'm going to invite Professors Trish Banjoy, Jessica Wiggins, and Carolyn Parker.
Hi. Today, I want to take a moment to shine a spotlight on someone truly exceptional. Imagine a person who embodies the essence of what it means to be a nurse. Nursing is the art and science of caring. And I can tell you more than anything that this person is someone you want standing at your bedside. And in all honesty, I'd take her today. This person is Jennifer Small, and I'd like her to start making her way up to the stage so I can tell everyone how cool you are. So in our program, you know, we're not going to joke. It's a tough program, and Jenny has maintained a GPA of 4.0 while she's been with us. She works so hard, and every day she walks into this building and currently in her uniform has finished a 12.5-hour shift, works 36 hours a week during co-op, and she does it with smiles and positivity and commitment, and she's always lifting up everyone around her. And her co-op instructor said that on any given day, she is a team player, she's a good communicator, she's kind, she's caring, she's graceful, and she's everything I would want in a nurse working alongside me. Jenny is also a source of inspiration for her peers. They need a lot of empowerment. Sometimes we got to ask each other to pull each other's socks up and get back to work. and she's that girl. And I think those of you who know her know that if you need a pat on the back or a suck it up buttercup, Jenny's going to do it for you. And she's going to remind you that Trish didn't swoop down, Carolyn didn't swoop down, and Jess didn't swoop down in a Black Hawk and drafted you into nursing. You chose this profession, and she exemplifies it. Without further ado, congratulations, Jennifer Small, for our first 2024 Nursing Award. You so deserve it, and we're so proud of you.
Hello, I'm Deborah Dunlop. I'm the Dean of SHE, Science, Health, and Exercise. And it's my pleasure tonight to invite the faculty to present the awards in the SHE division. So will Jeff Cook please come forward?
Classic field biologist. Good evening, NEC. Thank you. Yeah, good evening. Come on, it's North. All right, it's my sincere pleasure to present this year's award for excellence in biology. Tonight's recipient has already received a wealth of incredible distinctions in their life. In addition to earning a sterling 3.78 GPA, this individual personifies excellence in service to the Department of Biology and Health Science, to New England College, and to our extended community. And if I may be so bold, I've actually seen this student swim faster than either Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky. More about that in a second. As a budding biologist, tonight's recipient has conducted a wide variety of cutting-edge research projects at New England College that bridges the microscopic to the macroscopic world. Stemming from these experiences, this student has cultivated a suite of highly technical field, laboratory, and analytical skills like molecular genetics, bioinformatics, and conducting in situ biodiversity assessments on tropical coral reefs. So coming back to my first statement, while investigating the causes of damaged brain coral on Belizean reefs this past January, I was overtaken by what I can only describe as a frenetic blur of aquatic turmoil. Upon further investigation, I realized tonight's recipient was not simply trying to acquire as much data as possible. They had Colby College, Bates College, and the Hubbard Center for Genome Studies at UNH, and the Lake Sunapee Protective Association. Faculty from these various institutions have been highly complimentary of tonight's recipient, praising their work ethic, reliability, demeanor, communication skills, and their broad scope of scientific practice and understanding, thereby externally validating the student's accomplishments while at NEC. So, please join me in extending a heartfelt congratulations to Vinnie Leone. Come on up here. Vinnie, it's been my pleasure working with you these past few years, and I look forward to continuing our collaboration on future investigations. You're extremely deserving of this award, and I'm fully confident that you're going to go on to an incredible career. It's been a pleasure.
So Mark Mish will present the award for 2 majors.
So I have the honor tonight to present the award for environmental science and the award for the major for environmental studies and sustainability. Just to be efficient with time, what I'll do is announce the award winners, and then we'll do the pictures for both afterwards. So we're not scampering back and forth on the stage here. So let me start with environmental science. I'm sure that everybody in this room can think of that one professor you had in college that made a profound effect on you, that really triggered that passion, that led your journey, that led you here today for that. Just as most of you students that are here tonight, in fact, all of you students can think about that one instructor that made a big difference in your life. As faculty members, all of us can recognize and note those students who had a profound effect on us. So it's definitely a two-way process. The award winner for environmental science is Sam Hammond. He came to NEC last year as a transfer student coming from Arizona State University. Sam really set the standard in the classroom. He really raised the bar, and he not only performed stellar in terms of his academic performance, but really had a strong influence on the entire class. And my discussion with other faculty was this was shared, that he really had a profound effect on the people that he interacted with. He did an internship last summer at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and he is currently working at the, Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, at the Concord Alcohol Treatment and Recovery Center, both as a volunteer and working there also now until he finds that next path for where he's going to go. So I want to recognize Sam's contribution to the academics here and to the campus as a whole. So thank you, Sam. The award winner for environmental studies and sustainability is Bella Borski. I think the best way to describe Bella is her relationship with water. Bella loves water. She's in it, she's on it, and she's under it. So she works when she's not at NEC during the off semesters and during the summers with the family business as a rafting guide in Colorado. She did her internship last spring at the Turquoise Bay Recreation Center, where she was working, getting her dive master certification. And then she also participated in a research program looking at the recovery of coral reefs from climate change, where she was diving and working in a coral nursery. Bella has made a strong contribution, both in terms of the students that she interacts with the classes that she's in, as well as her academic accomplishments and her stellar work as an athlete. So her experience with hockey has really made a profound effect on campus, along with her academic performance. So congratulations, Bella.
So James Newcomb will present the award for health science.
Thank you. I also would like to extend a congratulations to all the students that are being honored tonight. And I would echo Mark's comment that it really touches us as instructors and your professors. So thank you very much. I'm here for health science, and I first got to know this year's Health Science Award winner when he took my anatomy and physiology class as a sophomore kinesiology student. It quickly became apparent that he was the top student in the class, and I very much appreciated his intellect and his desire to learn most of all. He was almost always the first one to class, and for those professors out there, you'll understand why I highlight that. As he took the class, his career aspirations started to morph, and eventually he became a double major in both kinesiology and health science, which is what he'll be graduating with. Many of you will recognize him. He's known around campus. He's a resident assistant. He serves as a peer tutor for our science students, including being embedded in this year's human anatomy and physiology class. So he's giving back to the next generation of A&P students, and they all speak very highly of him. He's also a starting midfielder on our men's soccer team, although I will say his Frisbee golf skills leave a little bit to be desired. But I really got to know him when he accepted a position into our competitive summer undergraduate research program after only his sophomore year. He worked in my lab and he ended up doing this great project on regeneration. He presented it at a regional conference, but then also presented it at a national conference this past January in Seattle. And I got many compliments from faculty around the country on his work. He did such a great job that I invited, pleaded, begged for him to come back and work in my lab again this summer, and he did say yes. I feel like it's almost like a dating game. He'll be doing a new project. It's regeneration, but he's going to be doing a new project, and he'll actually be doing the work downstairs. We will be in the Putnam basement this summer as we await our new digs in the science building renovations. So it's only fitting that a prior dancer gets to do research at the theater. After this summer, he's going to be returning for his final soccer season and graduating early. And his eventual plans at this time are to become a physician assistant. And I could say now I would trust him with myself or any of my family. So the winner of this year's Health Science Award goes to Will Scala.
So Dr. Hannah Nelson will present the award for kinesiology.
Thank you. They told me to start with a joke, but I'm not funny. The good news is that this student would very politely give me a pity laugh. So I know this one's for her. It's not a joke, but she'll probably still laugh. So tonight, I'm super excited to shine a spotlight on a student who truly embodies excellence in kinesiology. In case you don't know, kinesiology is the study of human movement. So we're not just concerned with human movement, but just health, wellness, and the human condition overall. This student exemplifies that through their commitment to the major, their studies, the college, and their peers. They excel in all of these areas, and their impact on our department is undeniable. Day in and day out, they show us what dedication, passion, and a genuine love for understanding human movement, health, and wellness actually looks like. On the academic side, the student doesn't only ace tests and quizzes, but can apply the concepts in class and engage in insightful discussions about the topics, but only if actually pressed to do so. Pretty quiet. This student has displayed fantastic professionalism and knowledge while doing hours of field experience and interning, and is a great example of what a kinesiology student should be out in the field. They continuously exceed our expectations, and the student is also diving deep into research on some pretty cool research, if I do say so myself, this summer. They are continuously looking to learn and always strive for more understanding. Incredibly, the student doesn't just excel in the classroom, they are also a rock star athlete, demonstrating what impeccable discipline and teamwork are all about. We all know the level of commitment and dedication that's required to be a student athlete. And if that wasn't enough, they also step up as a mentor, guiding and tutoring fellow students through their kinesiology courses. This student goes above and beyond, both attending classes and making good grades, but they also aspire to help their peers excel in and outside of the classroom and contribute fully to the field of kinesiology. But here's this kicker: despite all of their accomplishments, they remain very humble and have tons of humility, very, very humble about all of their accomplishments. They lead by example, always ready to lend a hand to anyone that needs it. So let's give it up for this outstanding individual, Jessica Duttkiss. Congratulations.
And Sarah Gunnery will now present the award for psychology.
It's my honor to present the Academic Award for Psychology tonight on behalf of Professor Walsh, who's a little under the weather. One of my favorite things about NEC is that students get to know a number of faculty well. Our awardee tonight has made an impression on faculty across the college. And so when Professor Walsh was drafting his speech, he asked for input from faculty that know this student best. So Professor Maura McNeil said, "I hold deep respect for this student for many reasons. Honor level grades gained through hard work, personal and professional integrity, leadership in the community with student organizations, and their thoughtful approach to mapping out professional goals are a few of the reasons they were enthusiastically chosen for a teaching assistant position in PL 1100, Making Sense of the World. Their maturity and focus were well suited for the responsibility of this position, and students in the class are better off for having them as a mentor and role model." When Alex asked me, I said, "A quick look at their transcript will show you that they excel academically. But beyond their grades, it is evident that this student loves to learn. They take a proactive approach to their education and come to class prepared to engage with the content each day. They ask questions and make insightful contributions in all classes. These contributions expand on course material and effectively pull classmates into the discussion. Their work in class is thorough, consistent, and often exceeds what is required." And lastly, Alex wrote, "Responsible, insightful, and empathic. This is a set of skills that I don't see much with students, but when I do, it stands out. These few students show responsibility by handing in work and completing class readings." I thought it was funny when Fran mentioned that, but not so much anymore. They do the ungraded work consistently and hold themselves to their own high personal standard, serving as their own role model. They enrich the classroom experience through their insightful comments and questions during class, challenging their classmates to think about the same material in a different way and challenging me to do the same. Using their empathy during group work, they help their fellow classmates by serving different roles based on what the group needs, whether it's a leader, facilitator, or supporter. Avery not only holds these qualities, but much more. Not surprisingly, they excelled in our program and will do so well into the future, moving into a master's degree in applied behavioral analysis with a specialization in autism. They serve as an exemplary role model for what it means to be a student with integrity who maximizes their potential." The Psychology Award goes to Avery Letourneau.
We are almost done, which is so exciting because then we get to go home and celebrate all the good stuff. Deliver to the student body. This student was kind of left as the only student standing a while ago and was left to kind of mentor and kind of hold historical data about leadership and the outdoors when there was no other major to be seen in the outdoors because no one wanted to learn this remotely. So, but a little bit about this student. I kind of, when I thought about why this student should receive this award, it didn't come down to his desire to demonstrate all the skills that he could do in the outdoors. It really came down to how he brought people into the outdoors, whether it was through campfires on a weekly basis. In fact, I just received a text from him this past weekend, which was, "Just so you know, we're gonna have a fire at the ropes course." And my response was, "Just don't set the woods on fire." And he said, "I'm gonna try not to do that." So, and which is just kind of demonstrates, I just trust the student to kind of take on some of these tasks and bring people into the outdoors. I have received some videos of snow falling from the student, which also makes all of us very happy as skiers. Where are my other notes? Let's see. He engages others just simply by listening. He is TA to most of our skills courses, which means he's already taken the course and then he wants to go again, not to demonstrate how much he knows of the skill, but just to support the students learning the skill. And there's sometimes I do think he's a little like a Shackleton. He's not afraid to try or do anything new, and he's not afraid to do what no one else wants to. And that's to me what leadership is, especially when you're in the outdoors, because we're all just there and we have to carry a tent, we have to carry a backpack, and sometimes we have to bury our poop. So I am so proud to recognize Emil Schultz as our outdoor leadership recipient.
I'm the only thing standing between this ceremony, the food outside. Yeah. So please bear with me though, because this is obviously a very important moment of recognition. My name is Frank Jones. I'm an assistant professor of the practice in the Criminal Justice Department, part-time, full-time in NEC since 2005. This is my first time presenting the Larry Taylor Transformation Award. So I'm very humbled and appreciative to the opportunity and those that made that decision. But I'm also on a bit of an emotional high today because in one day I've seen students engaged in a successful mock crime scene. Middle of the day, learning that 2 more graduating seniors are going on to careers in law enforcement in the state of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And then, man, how about that research in Spotlight in the great room? Please raise your hand if you were one of the presenters that were there, because you did some really great work. It was wonderful. The Larry Taylor Student Transformation Award is named after a long-term faculty member, Professor Larry Taylor, who now lives in Florida, whose commitment to a student-centered approach to teaching and belief in the transformative nature of education is recognized annually through this award. The New England College community presents this award to the junior or senior class member who has significantly benefited from their NEC experiences and is transformed positively during their time at New England College. It's also special to me because Larry Taylor was one of the professors that interviewed me when I applied here. A great guy. He's going to know who it is this moment I say this first few comments here, but this year's recipient came to NEC just about 4 years ago from a small town up in northern Maine. He wanted to pursue a career in law enforcement and decided to major in criminal justice with a minor in Homeland Security. And CJ faculty, when we were discussing this nomination, we recall that during his first 3 semesters at NEC, we were very concerned about him. He's very quiet, very reserved, almost seemingly distant. We wondered, is it just his adjustment period, or is it because he's from northern Maine, or maybe something more? We don't know, right? So we wondered, okay, what about support services? Somebody we're going to keep an eye on. We also noticed that over time, however, the student began to become increasingly engaged both in and out of the classroom. One thing we most certainly noticed is that his grades on assignments and exams and projects were always top-notch. They were always excellent, and we also noticed that his writing skills were phenomenal. Over time, the student began to come out of his shell a little bit more. He began to speak more during classes. He became an athlete by joining the New England College wrestling team. He even joined the Criminal Justice Club. Later, in a few more semesters, he started a new student organization focusing on physical fitness. Great for people that want to get into law enforcement. Slowly but surely, he was transforming into the outstanding student and soon-to-be graduate that he is today, an outstanding athlete, and at the same time, increasingly engaging himself into life at New England College. He participated in every CJ Club event, both on and off campus, and was always ready to step up to the plate for leadership roles at those events. Always putting his academics first. He maintained a 4.0 GPA. It has been a consistent 4.0 through his time here. And then, interestingly, over the last year, while finishing the demands of his undergraduate senior year, this student took it upon himself to apply and was accepted into the School of Graduate and Professional Studies, majoring in Homeland Security and Emergency Planning. He's already completed some of those courses. I double-checked it, and sure enough, what do you think, right? A 4.0 GPA continuing. He has transformed from the quiet student in the back of the room that seemingly wanted to stay off the radar into what he is today, which is an outstanding student, an outstanding athlete, and someone that is very civically engaged. He went on to earn the respect of all faculty, not just within the CJ discipline, staff, his coaches, and certainly his peers. I've received plenty of positive commentary from my faculty colleagues over the years about what a pleasure he is to have in class. He's been inducted into several honor societies at NEC, including most recently Alpha Phi Sigma, the Honor Society for CJ, known for his willingness to always help others, another critical element in positive characteristics of a law enforcement officer. It's been evident over the semesters, both in and out of the classroom. We recognize him as one of our best and brightest without a doubt. He's developed into a wonderful team player and is the epitome of the principles and goals of the mission of New England College and the purpose of this Transformation Award. He continues to excel. All year he's done it with his attendance, assignment, projects, exams, and his senior research, focusing on the ongoing war on drugs in our country as it relates to his career goal. You know, what was kind of cool is last month, I'm clearing a classroom in Lyons, and I see the student. He's walking around with a camera, going into empty classrooms, taking pictures. I thought, okay, what's up with that, right? So I approached him and asked him why, and he told me he was taking pictures to share with his younger brother, to convince him and tell him to come to New England College to get that same wonderful experience. And I told him, I'm not going to forget that. Following the very intense and educational week of this year's annual CJ Engaged Learning Experience in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia, this student finally made a decision on how he's going to put his undergrad and grad degrees to work. And that is going to be, and he's already started the recruitment process to become an agent for the United States Drug Enforcement Administration. We are so proud of him. I know Larry Taylor would be equally proud of this year's recipient. It's truly representative of what this award recognizes. This student is a true transformation because of the greatness of this institution, faculty and staff, and all that is accomplished here by everyone that's involved in making that transformation process happen. I am going to miss him, but I also know he's going to be one hell of a great DEA agent. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a round of applause for this year's recipient of the Larry Taylor Transformation Award, Malik R. Kersey. Malik. This is for you. Thank you. The resume continues to grow. Thank you very much, and I'll now turn this over to our VPAA, Dr. Pat Corbin.
Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for all the students. Fabulous job. Woo! So just a few quick thank yous. I do want to thank, we have some fabulous staff in the audience that I saw. I see some people that really support our students every day. So I'd like to give them a round of applause because they are amazing. They're awesome. And as we heard already, there was some fabulous people that helped put this event together. So for Sam, for Jess, for Megan, who's hiding behind that PowerPoint, thanks so much for helping get this together. And I did see our senior vice president, Jim Murtha here, my colleague on senior team, who I appreciate working with him. He snuck out, but I'll thank him tomorrow. And I do want to thank our fabulous faculty who were here tonight and who love our students dearly. And I appreciate them, and I know our students do. So let's give them a round. So fabulous night. We wish our seniors well. We will see you. Senior week is coming up. I see you at commencement. And now we do have refreshments in the lobby. So have a great night, everyone.